Hello there. I am getting ready to drive home from the gym. I am taking my kids to see a movie tonight. We're going to go to see Zootopia 2 because I have a 16-year-old and a 5-year-old, and I had to get them to agree on something, and I wanted to go maybe see Goat. It doesn't matter to me because I sleep through the movie. There are a lot of movies out right now that I actually would have liked to have seen over this. If it was only a 16-year-old I might have gone with. You're also going to have to forgive me. I went on a mission earlier to get some Anna-bars because they're my favorite. They're not a protein bar. They are a candy bar with protein added. And they are one of my favorite snacks in the world. But in that they do taste really good. They tend to taste a lot like the peanut butter that they're based off of. But of the peanut butter bars, I find them to be pretty much the Oz. I have no teeth and I have no stomach. So one of the things about having bariatric surgery is that you have to chew your food really small. Like they've been telling you for years, take a bite and chew it up so you eat slower. That's not it. It's because if you don't chew your food small... Where are you going? Oh, sorry. Somebody was trying to pull into the spot, I guess, but it looked like they were trying to drive around me because I was waiting for people to walk. I don't know, people around here drive really bad, especially since Rona. Anyway, I should not be driving like this. I will stop when I get out of the parking lot and I will focus on the road, I promise. That's my friend. Oh, he parked as far as he could away too. That's crazy. I mean, he's going to the gym, and I constantly make jokes about people who need to park in the spot that's not an illegal spot just so he can be as close to the gym. But he parked as far away as possible, and it's freezing out here. My car's been running for about 10 minutes, and it's 43 degrees inside with the heat set to 70. I don't like getting too hot, and I'm wearing my hoodie, and it's just a thing. I cannot, the auto temperature, the car too hot makes the car too cold. It never really makes it the temperature I want it to be. Anyway, all of that aside, we're going to talk a little bit about what's going on in the world today. I want to talk about my psych test first, though, because I took my first psych test for the new psych class, and I've had an issue with the entire psychiatric department at Penn State for a long time. I don't know if it's like this in the regular classes or only in the World Campus ones, but the entire department has a policy that they do not give out correct answers when you get them wrong on the tests. And one of the things that you learn in Intro to Psych, there's 2 whole sections on better studying skills and how to properly learn things and teach things, and reviewing prior tests with correct answers is one of the number one ways. On top of that, small frequent exams or projects or not just tests is another one of the things that they really preach in the teaching part, which kind of irritates me because so we have 16 weeks of class, and every week there's anywhere from 2 to 5 discussion posts, 1 to 5 due. I think there's never more than 2 or 3 actually that you have to do. On test week you only have to do 1, I think, or at least this test week we only have to do 1. But why don't you just get in the other lane, dude? There's a whole lane there. Anyway, people are dumb. This really is how I don't get road rage, I get road explanation syndrome is what I feel like I should call it. I like to teach people how to drive while I'm sitting here. But I'm not any better than anybody else. And sometimes I drive dangerously by talking to a phone. I try not to mess with my focus though. I really do. Okay, so this class has 16 weeks. 2 to 3 4-point assignments per week. 3 100-point tests. So when I got an 88 on my test today, and I disagree with at least 2 of them that I got wrong. The other ones I can at least see why I got wrong. At least 2 of them I actually actively disagree, but without knowing what the correct answers are, I can't sit and fight with her. And I've had teachers in the past where I have emailed them, been like, can you please, not in psych department classes, but in can you explain to me why this is? Because I'd like to understand it better. I really feel this was the correct answer. And they've come back with me with, well, here's why, or here's where you can go find it, or, oh, you are right, let me fix it, because they're written by TAs and inputted by the Compass people, not by teachers at all. So whatever. But, I don't know. I got an 88. I had 100% in this class. I got an 88. I got 6 questions wrong. It dropped my score from 100% to 90. Okay, not that bad, right? every test, all through the tests, have to have at least an 85% or higher for me to keep my A, even if I get perfect on every single other assignment the rest of the year. That is ridiculous weighting. Like, what is the point? Like, why even do the assignments if... I mean, obviously I don't mean what is the point. Like, I don't even care. I'm going to school to learn. Like, I realize, like, that the education is the point. To me, I'm fascinated by the class I'm taking. I don't need this class. I wanted this class. It's a fundamental, I mean, it's an intro to abnormal psych, so I needed some 200 level psych class, but there were a whole bunch I could have taken. I chose to take this one. It probably would have benefited better from certain other ones, but, like, I wanted this one. I know. There's another one I'm going to take next semester that's another 200 level, I think, because, like, so intro to psych is 100 levels of freshman level, and then you have all these 200 levels that are, like, basics, and then you have, like, the 400 levels, which are, like, the deep dives, and 300 is, I think, like, the internship and the portfolio and stuff. They're not actual, like, learning classes from what I remember. I don't know. I haven't really looked at them that much. I have a lot of 400 level classes I want to take. I should pick out 15 400 level classes that I want to take before graduation. That's 3 full semesters of senior level classes if I did nothing else, which is insane. And it's not going to happen because there's other stuff you have to do during senior year, and also, like, I would just die. I would die because there's so much involved. Like, I'm taking one 400 level class right now, and it is work, and it's okay. I mean, it's supposed to be work, but it's work. Okay, so it's just frustrating because to me it really does matter. Like, I'm working towards trying to get a fellowship to grad school. I can't barely afford with loans to stay in college with, like, maxed out financial aid every semester. With the money that I'm going to get from United Way for the visa stuff, I can barely afford to stay in school. I'm not going to afford to do grad school. And, like, I need my graduate degree and then some if I want to talk about the stuff I want to talk about and have anybody listen to me. Like, I have to do some kind of graduate or master's or doctorate program. I don't know what order they go in, but graduate's the next one. Anyway, postgraduate studies are required because it's undergraduate and then postgraduate. Anyway, also I'm going to eat my dinner. That's what I started this saying. So I ate an Anabar earlier, which was delicious before I went to work out. They are candy bars. They have 20 grams of protein. They have slightly more calories than these do. This is 210, and Anabar has 280. It's slightly smaller, but it's super filling. It does have more sugar. They're not a sugar-free bar. I'm kind of okay with that because, like, I have so few sugar in my life. Like, I'd rather have the taste every now and then. But I only ate half of it because I wanted to try it so bad. And I'm saving the other half of the movie, but I'm starving. It was fluff and red flavored mixed. I'm so over peanut butter. Everything's peanut butter when you have no teeth and you have no stomach and you need protein all the time. And so it's like everything banana is strawberry banana. Like, you never just find, like, strawberry. I mean, everything's strawberry banana. You just find strawberry kiwi, or strawberry pineapple, or strawberry orange, or so many other things you put with strawberry, not just strawberry banana. Well, everything protein is peanut butter. So I'm gonna eat. This is Bearbell. These are one of my top favorite Bearbells, and they're so hard to find. They're almost like a Melons bar. So it's the coconut almond. I can only find them in Sheetz, which is where I have to go to get the Anabar too. Sheetz is like Wawa, and if you don't know what Wawa is, you are deprived. Sheetz is different than Wawa. It's mostly in the west of the state, but we have 2 of them around here now. They are sort of direct competition. They're the closest thing to direct competition, and they have different like sandwiches and drinks and treats, which is annoying because it means I can't be loyal to either. I have to go to both. Primarily, I go to Wawa, but the coconut ones are only at Sheetz. So now I'm gonna be really rude and eat and talk. No, I'm very sorry, but so, the only reason I'm in politics is for the trauma-informed care version. I'm told I should call it IPV, not DV. But my thing is, I get that because he was my husband, he was an intimate partner. But he was an intimate partner partner to my children, and they still witnessed it. You know, they may not have been direct receivers of any of the physical stuff, fortunately, but like they witnessed everything. They took his anger, they took his mood swings, they took his neglect. So I feel like domestic is more appropriate than IPV for this. I understand the turnover, but I don't know. I think there needs to be a continuation of both, really. Anyway, I really got into being political because I'm a woman and my kids are non-binary and non-straight and I am poor and I believe in equality for everyone, and it mostly started with the comedians too. It started with like Josh Johnson and stuff. I would go to the gym and I would watch Josh Johnson on the treadmill because I was bored. I love him, by the way. I still love him. I've met him twice now and he's an amazing human being. If you go to his show, stand in line. It's worth it. Stand in line. You know what I mean when I get there. He will shake your hand. He will listen to whatever stupid thing because you will forget English. And he will say something nice to you. And he'll smile, and he has the most amazing smile. I'm like, the first time I went, I told him how I used his routines to explain the news to my husband, who used to be so liberal, but suddenly was like not. And he was like, "Oh, that's so sweet. I'm glad I can help you." And the second time I went, he completely forgot me. Oh, so nice to meet you. Which, I mean, Jesus, I would forget my own name if I was him. But he forgot me. But I was like, "Oh, I did actually meet you before," because I'm dumb, right? I'm a fangirl, I'll admit. And I was like, and I told you that I was using the news to help my husband understand our view on politics because, you know, we're a lot more open. And then I just left him. So, and your comedy helped me do that too. And he was like, "Oh, you're welcome." Like, I don't know. It was, you know, you're like, someone's like, "Have a good day," and you're like, "You're welcome." I don't know. No, that's not the one. Like, "Happy birthday," like, "You too." Something stupid like that. That's how I felt. Like, I get so tongue-tied, but it's okay. Anyway, I didn't get into politics because I'm super involved. I used to never watch the news. As a matter of fact, a huge part of our relationship is that my ex listened to a lot of podcasts with a lot of, like, current events. But, like, Last Podcast on the West and TMZ are not news sources. So he would hear these things and he would hear what he wanted to hear from them, and then he would bring them up and he'd pick fights, and I wouldn't even know what we were fighting about. We were like, I did not watch the news for years. I don't watch the news, I didn't read the newspaper, nothing. I didn't like the news. My mom would get upset about things. When I was a state employee, I knew exactly as much as I needed to, like, know if I was going to get fired. Which happened once, not personally, but like our office got shut down. I didn't have, like, it wasn't, I don't have TV at home, so like if I was going through the effort of putting on a streamer, it wasn't, you know, and I don't listen to the radio, I listen to, you know, stream music. I listen to music all the time, but I listen to the music I choose, not like, sometimes I put on FM radio still, like, when I want to use my phone. Anyway. So I didn't listen to the news for a very long time. Well, excessively long. And then my first semester at Penn State, I took the news initiative class. So I'm going to be a news initiative ambassador, which I actually am. Which is really bad. My teachers finally got the program started, and like we're supposed to be doing up to 5 hours a week of work on it. And he got a list of things we can do together for us, and I haven't even opened it yet. And it's been like 2 weeks, and I'm awful. But I have this other job starting, and I'm preoccupied. I will get to it, I swear. But that got me back into the news in like a very real way. That and Josh Johnson. So what I used to do when I went to the gym is that I would watch whatever TV shows, you know, hour-long episodes of whatever, and then I would go do yoga. But then I started training for a marathon, a half marathon, which I did, by the way. And I really wanted to build up my endurance. I didn't care if I could run the whole thing, but I didn't want to like not be able to walk the whole thing at least. So started doing 2 and 3 and 4 hour trips on the treadmill, and I needed stuff to fill it up. So I started watching YouTube and leaving my hour-long episodes for at home at night. The only other time I ever even turn on a TV is when I'm in bed. And I don't really watch it. I fall asleep. I have a narcolepsy. I cannot stay awake like that. Are you insane? I really do have narcolepsy. The test is like in March, but we're almost guaranteed. I'm supposed to be keeping a sleep journal, by the way. I really should print that out. But almost guaranteed, because I fall asleep randomly with unbearably, uncontrollably fall asleep. It's almost like nodding out if you've ever done an opiate, which I would not recommend. But I mean, a lot of people have had pain medication in their life and don't even know what the feeling is. But it's overwhelming, and I cannot stop it. And it's not at a set time, and it's not controllable, and there's no caffeine doesn't work, and getting up and running in circles doesn't work, and like nothing except for sitting there and waiting for it to pass really works. And it got worse after my brain surgery, but I mean, it's been off and on my whole life. So when I go to bed, I go to bed. But anyway, so I started watching the news at the gym when I was on the treadmill, like scrolling through YouTube and catching not legacy media, like independent news, Legal AF and Status Quo and Heather Richardson and Joanne Friedman and BTC. I always get the ones who did like Democracy Docket and Legal AF and Midas Touch and BTC. They're all like, some of them names of people and some are names of like their shows, and I get like, so Ben Marsalis and Mike Popak and Brian Cohen and Adam, I can't say his last name. I can't think of his last name. I don't know. There's a whole lot of them that I watch, and obviously you know which ones are the main ones. I mean, honestly, whichever ones show up first, right? Heather, I will not miss an episode of. Joanne, I try to catch as much as possible. I keep meaning to get like Friedman at night or Friedman after dark. There was a few thoughts for those who can't sleep, but the crowd just calls it Friedman after dark. I keep meaning to catch up when it's actually live, because I've been watching a lot of what is with my brain today? B. Dylan Hollis, the cooking guy, because I follow other things too. Liam, the plant guy, he's amazing. I love him. Relationship stuff. I could name other streamers all day, but recently I've noticed that I'm going to the gym and I'm there for 2 hours or 3 hours. I'm not doing my yoga. I'm only on the treadmill, and I'm watching news after news after news. And it's all stuff primarily stuff I've heard at this point. And then I go home and I don't watch TV till bedtime. And I put on it, it's news and news and news and news. And sometimes it's the same news, sometimes it's different news. A lot of times it runs while I'm sleeping and then I miss the news. I have to go find it. Like, the details keep changing. You know, Pam Bondi said something stupid in front of Congress. Which stupid thing is the detail? Trump did something offensive to Canada. What he did is the detail. So the details keep changing. And it almost feels like they've have gone so far into the deep end at this point that, like, I don't know if I've ever seen them, but there's these, like, exercise hot tubs where, like, it kind of has its own current, so you're swimming as hard as you can, but you're not going anywhere. And they're designed for people who don't have room for a pool but want to be able to get a workout, like physical therapy, things like that. And it almost feels like that's where we are with this regime now. Like, they're swimming as hard as they can and they're not getting anywhere. Nothing is changing, but they're still splashing around making a mess. You know, they're not in the ocean. That would be too nice. They're literally making a mess somewhere, mostly in the White House. And it's still the most obscene, disgusting regime ever. You know, but so much of it is ineffective. Like, they haven't actually done anything, legally speaking, except for the big, nasty pile of people bill the entire time. They have not passed one significant piece of legislation. What Trump has done is pass a bunch of presidential mandates. Excuse me, I got a piece of coconut stuck in my throat. They've ignored a lot of judicial orders and actual rule of law issues. And like, it's funny because they like to talk about how many times Trump has been sued this administration, which like, that would be like my kids being like, you grounded me 5 times this week, and me being like, okay, why'd I ground you 5 times? My kid being like, well, because I broke 5 rules. Right. So was I supposed to only like ground you 1 time and then be like, oh, you've missed your quota for the week? Oh God, my watch just randomly started talking to me. I didn't know it was still running. I thought its battery died. That's funny. I just gave myself credit for driving home like I'm still on the treadmill. That's really funny. Yesterday the battery died when I was at the gym, so it's okay. It'll give me some time from yesterday. I don't ever look at it again after my workout's done. I never charge it either. I was just looking at the 8s and the Ultras. I know I don't have the money for them and stuff. I really don't. But mine is getting so old and so sad. Or apparently I missed the entire release of the 8. I just hold on a little bit. The 9 will probably come out. My phone needs to be replaced, but that's a whole other story because my phone is in my brother's name. And he has some like lifelong boycott because Samsung didn't deliver my mom's earbuds, which hey, I'm fine, but I'm paying my phone bill. And I like my Samsung because I'm used to them. I try and learn like Pixel or something, but it's such a starting over point at this point in my life. I'm like, it used to be that everything I had was like linked. But really, I have a Lenovo tablet, and I have my laptop might be Lenovo too, because it's a Yogi. It was the best laptop the year that it came out and the next year. It's only a year and a half old, so that makes sense. I got it for school. And then I got my tablet for school too. But yes, I'm licking the chocolate off the wrapper. Don't judge me. There's like so much left. I'm hungry. I haven't eaten all day. I gotta take my kids to the movies and not eat all night. I did find mayo, so make chicken salad later. But okay, so there's little things like Kristi Noem's rapidly out of control spending and trying to fire somebody for a blankie. That one really makes me mad because there's like tinfoil blankets they give people after like emergencies. They give them to you after you run races too. So after I ran that half marathon, they gave me one of those. They're the least comfortable thing on the planet. They really do feel like having a piece of like tinfoil wrapped around you, pretty much. Not even like a mixture of like tinfoil and a garbage bag, like maybe like a poncho. I'm trying to think of anything else that feels exactly like that. It's not a blanket. It's not comfortable. It's just created to hold your body heat into you so you don't go to shock, right? And they have little kids on concrete floors with their like in a pile because their parents are in a different concrete cell. And they hand them a bunch of these freaking tinfoil blankets, and that's what they're going to be adults too. Don't get me wrong. They're not being nice to anybody, but they're like piled up. After judges told me you're not allowed to do this anymore, they're referring to them as bodies. And then Kristi Noem fires her pilot. She can't find her blankie. Hi, Gary. Bye, Gary. We talked to the streets around here. When I first bought my house, I kept forgetting which street to turn onto and turning too soon. And that street's name is Gary. So when I go past it, it's become a tradition to say hi to it, bye to it, so that I don't turn onto it. It's been a tradition for a little over 6 years now. If you can locate me by the fact that I live next to a street named Gary, you are amazing. Anyway, I am almost home, so I'm going to stop this, but my point is that I'm so overdone that I almost wonder if, like, I know to a point, yes, it absolutely was intentional. They definitely flood the zone intentionally. But also, like, what do you do when you have fatigue? Because, like, this was my hobby for a while, and now I have burnout on my hobby, and I need to get a new hobby. see it. Maybe my kids are doing it. It's good to get a new hobby, but at the same time, like this, I just started this, and I want to do this. This is my healing for, you know, my issues, and also, oh, Frederick Wiseman. He made documentaries. He passed away. He's 96 years old. Made documentaries a while ago. That's kind of sad. I think it's always sad when people die, but I mean, documentaries are important. Someday I'd like to make a documentary. That's one of the things I was thinking about, adding like a documentary class. Anyway, I am home. I want to go with my boys, get ready to take them to the movie, go back out so I can go to sleep at the movie theater. I know that's sad, but like it's been a really long weekend. Alright, I will talk to you later.